this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, Goku becomes the Super Saiyan God. And I give this week's episode a 3 out of 5. That's the end. See you guys. Okay, maybe I'm being a little mean on this week's episode. I really just don't have all that much to say about this one because, for the most part, this week's episode is a straight retelling of the events of Battle of Gods. The only difference is the location of where the transformation takes place and the fact that the actual transformation sequence is way different and way more elaborate than anything that we actually see from Battle of Gods. And honestly, I think that's the real highlight of this week's episode, was that completely ridiculous and overblown and just earth-shaking transformation sequence. I shit you not, this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super has one of the best transformation sequences that I have seen from the entire series. I really do believe it's on par with when Goku went Super Saiyan 1 for the first time, or when he demonstrated Super Saiyan 3 for Babidi and Majin Buu. This week's episode was important because we got to learn how the Super Saiyan God is actually created. When 5 pure-hearted Saiyans come together and pour their energy and power into another Saiyan, they become the Super Saiyan God. And of course, Goku is the one who gets to do this, and they learn all of this because of Shenron, the dragon. They actually do make a wish with the Dragon Balls this week. You know, it's actually kind of cool to see the Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball, and it's a very short-lived scene, but I think it's really funny because just like in the movie version, Shenron is completely freaked out when he sees Lord Beerus. He doesn't know how to control his shit, and it is a little embarrassing when you see this giant deity like God Dragon who's actually starting to piss his pants in front of Beerus. But still, Beerus is just stupid powerful, and he simply just wants to respect him. But after seeing that Beerus is there, he decides to tell him everything about the Super Saiyan God and get the hell out of Dodge. As Gohan said, he ran away with his tail tucked between his legs. So just like in the movie version, Goku becomes a Super Saiyan God. However, the transformation sequence in this week's episode is a little different. In the movie, basically, they just pour all their energy into Goku, and just in an instant, in a flash of light, he becomes the Super Saiyan God. In this week's episode, it's a little more ridiculous. Basically, what ends up happening is they all slowly start to become Super Saiyan, and I don't know if Videl is becoming a Super Saiyan herself, or maybe it's just the color of the scene, but it actually looks like her hair is turned golden as well. However, this is just temporary, and then eventually Goku starts to go up into the sky, and that's when all this crazy shit starts going down. All of the clouds start turning into gold, they all start converging with one another, and then suddenly these massive climate changes start happening, all within the span of a minute. Summer, fall, winter, lightning, a giant beam of light explodes into the sky, which then reveals frickin' space, which reveals even more lightning, which then explodes into a massive blinding golden flash, which then transforms Goku into the Super Saiyan God for the very first time. He comes out of this giant aura of red light and he is revealed, and it's a much slimmer Goku, and he also happens to have the signature Super Saiyan God red hair. Basically, it's just like Battle of Gods, and the episode ends with him getting ready to have his big battle with Lord Beerus. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super? Basically, it's the events from Battle of Gods, except that the transformation sequence with Goku is a lot more flashy. That's about it. That's really all I have to say. What I will say is, though, that the actual transformation sequence I thought was really well done. It was really over the top and crazy. The setting was really cool, everybody actually getting to witness it. And I also like the fact that they decided to cut out the entire scene with the Pilaf gang actually taking the Dragon Balls. The fact that they never even had a chance to take them kind of makes me feel like they could have cut them from this entire arc, because in this week's episode, they're basically there just to be more slapstick. They're flailing around in the ocean, especially during Goku's big transformation sequence. It looks like they're about to literally get sucked into a freaking vortex, and then right after that, they basically just disappear from the rest of the episode, and you don't care anymore, because Goku's about to become a Super Saiyan God, and just like the movie, it is a really nice entrance. The music they choose again for his actual transformation is a little cheesy, and I could definitely tell that the fan base didn't really care for it. But still, I just want to see more of what's going to happen in the battle with Goku and Beerus. I really can't wait to see how they're going to handle it. I really cannot wait to see how it's going to hold up to the actual movie version of Battle of the Gods, and actually I can't wait to see if there's going to be any more twists to this arc, because there's still a few characters who have not made their appearances in the series quite yet. Those other gods in attendance that you see in the intro of the show have already been in the manga version, and I'm honestly quite shocked that they haven't even brought them up quite yet. However, there are some small hints, especially at the beginning of the episode when Beerus is actually talking about the Dragon Balls, mentioning that the ones on Earth are much smaller in compared to the ones that they have seen before. So there are going to be some hints to some of the later storylines that are going to be coming, but still, this is all just a big build-up to the battle with Goku and Beerus, which honestly, I hope they handle it really well. I don't know how long they're going to make it. I don't know if this is going to be like a one episode or maybe even a double episode affair. Knowing Dragon Ball, it's kind of hard to tell because some episodes can get wrapped up in like one fight, like one episode, just that's it. This one right here could be extended, but honestly, I'm just waiting to see if there's going to be any twists or turns when compared to Battle of Gods. Otherwise, that's really it. That's all I have to say. This week's episode was Goku turning into a Super Saiyan God. It was a long time getting there, but honestly, the transformation sequence was really cool. So check out the episode if only to see that and to get more pumped up for the battle with Goku and Beerus. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 3 out of 5. It was just sort of an okay episode with some very slow pacing, but that transformation sequence was definitely really awesome and really worth seeing if you're a big fan of Dragon Ball Z. So 3 out of 5 from me. Check it out, Dragon Ball Super fans. You might see something you like. Before you guys leave, make sure to tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like it and share it with your friends. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews, as well as our weekly podcast show, which you can see on our YouTube channel and you can download for free at iTunes and at Rogue Intel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!